In the intricate tapestry of human connection, we constantly navigate a complex web of energies. Some individuals uplift us, filling our spirits with joy, peace, and enthusiasm, while others leave us feeling inexplicably drained, a profound weariness seeping into our bones, as if an unseen hand has siphoned away our very vitality. Deep thinkers like Carl Jung illuminated these hidden layers of human psychology in relationships, offering invaluable insights into understanding these energetic currents and how to safeguard ourselves. In this exploration, inspired by these profound teachings, we will delve into how to recognize those who deplete your energy, pull you down, or attempt to manipulate you. By the end, you will understand why discerning these warning signs and acting upon them immediately is absolutely vital for your well-being. The first ignored signal: your intuition. Perhaps you have experienced it yourself. You meet someone new. On the surface, they appear charming, articulate, even captivating. Everything seems perfectly normal. Yet, deep within you, an unnameable disquiet, a subtle unease, begins to stir. Your logical mind might tell you, "There's no issue here, everything is fine." You might even chide yourself for being overly cautious. No overt rudeness has been displayed, no hurtful words spoken. But their very presence, their energetic imprint, simply does not feel right. It is precisely at this juncture that many of us make a crucial error. We dismiss that faint inner voice, that strange premonition. Our rational brain insists, "You have no concrete evidence, do not be judgmental." However, what Carl Jung referred to as the collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of shared human experience inherited from our ancestors, sends us invisible signals. These signals allow our minds to perceive dangers before full conscious processing and analysis can occur. This is the essence of intuition. It is not magic or paranoia. It is the resonant echo of millennia of survival instincts encoded within us. Jung explained that intuition is our way of grasping information that our conscious mind has not yet processed. Our brain perceives minute shifts in a person's micro-expressions, subtle vibrations in their voice, telling clues in their body language, and even incongruities in their energetic field. It rapidly processes this data and transmits it back to us as a feeling, perhaps a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a general sense of unease. Your body, in essence, is screaming to you, "Something here is not right." I recall a similar experience years ago when a friend introduced me to someone new. As I said, the first impression was wonderful. They were polite, kind, seemingly interested, laughing at all the right moments. But for some inexplicable reason, I felt a persistent discomfort in their presence. It was as if my entire being was sounding an alarm. I disregarded it, telling myself, perhaps I'm just tired, or maybe I'm overly reserved. I spent months interacting with this individual, and each time I left their company, I felt an inexplicable heaviness, as if my energy had been siphoned away. Over time, I began to notice inconsistencies in their stories, the negative remarks they made about others, and their perpetual victim mentality. It was then that I understood how accurate my initial intuition had been. That person was not who they appeared to be. In that moment, Jung's profound words resonated deeply within me. Energy does not lie. But beyond these subtle gut feelings, how can you concretely identify those who drain your energy? Pay close attention now, because we are moving on to the key, observable red flags that can change your life. The 3 key signs of an energy drainer. Most people tend to disregard these initial subtle signals because their rational minds cannot find a reason for them. They did nothing overtly wrong, we tell ourselves. Perhaps I am overreacting. But this, truly, is one of the greatest mistakes you can make. For some individuals do not steal your energy directly or obviously. They do it slowly, insidiously, often without you even realizing it. It is akin to being slowly drawn into a swamp. How then do you recognize those who drain your energy? How do you know if someone in your orbit is not good for you, but is instead consuming you? Here are key warning signs to pay close attention to. The first sign: when you converse with them, the conversation invariably revolves around their problems, their complaints, and their dramas. No matter how positively you begin the discussion, the topic somehow always circles back to how difficult their situation is, or who has wronged them. They do not seek solutions, they merely narrate their woes, And as you listen, you begin to absorb their emotional burden, becoming, in essence, their emotional refuse bin. You conclude the conversation feeling depleted, utterly devoid of energy, and even hopeless. This is because they seek only to lighten their own load by depositing their burdens onto you. The second sign, they induce guilt when you attempt to establish boundaries or prioritize your own needs. When you allocate time for yourself, engage in your hobbies, or simply wish to rest, they subtly imply how much they need you. They may not express it directly, but their demeanor, their sighs, their mournful expressions convey the message, "What will I do without you?" This is a subtle form of manipulation. They attempt to fulfill their own energetic needs by making you dependent on them or by exploiting your sense of duty. They cause you to feel selfish, yet dedicating time to yourself is your fundamental right. The third sign, you feel a distinct sense of relief upon leaving their presence. Normally, when you part ways with someone you value, you might feel a longing or a void, might you not? But what you experience when you distance yourself from these types of individuals is a strange lightness. It is as if a heavy burden has been lifted from your shoulders. Your mind becomes clearer and breathing feels easier. This is an unequivocal indication that this person is draining your energy. Their absence feels more beneficial than their presence. This is one of the most potent signals your intuition can send you. Now that you can spot these signs, it's time to understand the why. What is going on psychologically? In this next section, we explore the hidden reasons in one of the most insidious forms of manipulation there is, the psychological weapon, reality distortion. What might be the psychological underpinnings of these individuals' behaviors? According to Jung, when people fail to confront their own shadows, the unaccepted flaws, fears, and repressed aspects of their personality, they project these onto others. In essence, they perceive their own inner chaos and deficiencies in those around them and attempt to offload that burden. Those who steal energy often try to fill their own internal emptiness with the energy of others. Unable to find their own inner light, they seek to siphon the light from those around them. This manipulation is not always conscious. Some individuals genuinely do not know how to manage their own emotional issues or internal chaos, and unknowingly, they transfer this burden to the people in their vicinity. This dynamic is particularly evident in a type of manipulation known as reality distortion. If someone consistently insists that an event you experienced never happened, that a feeling you felt is baseless, that you are overreacting, or misremembering, be highly vigilant. Jung's concept of projection illuminates the mechanism behind reality distortion. The individual projects their own unacceptable traits, perhaps being selfish, irresponsible, or manipulative, onto you. When they tell you you are selfish, they are, in fact, ignoring their own selfishness. When they accuse you of creating drama, they are trying to offload their own dramatic tendencies onto you. And if you do not trust your own perception, you may, over time, begin to believe that you are indeed the one with the problem. This is the most perilous aspect of such manipulation. It causes you to doubt your own sanity. This is a truly dangerous tactic. So, how can you spot it in action? I'm now going to give you the clear, unmistakable signs that someone is distorting your reality. Please, listen carefully to this. The telltale signs of reality distortion. How do you recognize reality distortion? Here are a few signs. The first sign, they constantly shift their narrative. They deny what they said yesterday. They claim never to have done something last week that you clearly remember. And when you point this out, they accuse you of forgetfulness, misunderstanding, or exaggeration. Their objective is to confuse you, to destabilize your sense of what to believe. The second sign, they invalidate your emotions. When you are sad, they might say, "Is that all there is to it?" When you are angry, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" When you are happy, "What is there to be so joyful about?" They diminish everything you feel, making it seem insignificant, meaningless, or exaggerated. They try to make you feel overly sensitive, unbalanced, or even mentally unsound. The third sign, they attempt to isolate you from others. When you meet with other people, they insinuate that you should not trust them, that they do not understand you, or even that they speak negatively about you behind your back. Their aim is to prevent you from gaining alternative perspectives or external support, thereby convincing you that they are your sole, reliable source of truth. The fourth sign, you feel more bewildered after speaking with them. You may think you are engaging in a conversation to resolve an issue, but when the discussion ends, you find yourself in an even more inextricable situation. Instead of clarity, you feel more clouded. You struggle to distinguish between what is real and what you have been told. Recognizing these signs is the first crucial step. But now we arrive at the most important part. How do you shield yourself from these individuals? Let's build your energetic fortress with these practical methods. Your shield of protection, how to defend yourself. If you observe these warning signs in someone, consider it an alarm. Carl Jung stated, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Becoming aware of such manipulation and energy drainage is the first step toward reclaiming your destiny. So, how do you protect yourself from such individuals? First, trust your intuition. Listen to that unsettling inner voice. Even if you cannot find a logical reason, if someone's energy does not feel right to you, do not ignore that sensation. Endeavor to understand what your body is communicating. Second, establish and uphold your boundaries. You are not obligated to be another person's emotional refuse bin. Do not hesitate to dedicate time to yourself or to say no. This is not selfishness, it is self-respect. Remember, it is not your responsibility to fix the chaos of others. Third, trust your own reality. If you know you have experienced something or felt a certain way, do not allow anyone else to convince you otherwise. If you trust someone, speak with them. Gaining other people's perspectives can help you recognize manipulation. Listen to trustworthy voices outside of your immediate perception. Fourth, do not internalize the projections of others. If someone unfairly accuses you of something, do not immediately question yourself. First, conduct an honest self-assessment. Did you genuinely make a mistake? If not, understand that the accusation is not yours to carry. Recognize that the person is projecting their own shadow onto you. This is their issue, not yours. You've learned the defense mechanisms, which is excellent, but now we must address perhaps the most dangerous and difficult to spot type of person. They appear as friends, but secretly resent your light. Pay very close attention to this section, because these people could be the closest to you. The most dangerous type, hidden envy. Finally, and perhaps most painfully, hidden envy and resentment. Some individuals may appear to want you to succeed, to do well. Perhaps they truly do, but only as long as you do not surpass them. The moment you begin to shine, the moment you step forward, that unseen envy within them activates. These individuals are insidious. They will diminish your achievements. They will try to divert you from your path with seemingly well-intentioned advice. They will sow seeds of doubt. Words like, "There might be a problem with this," "Be careful," or "Do not overdo it," are used to try and halt your progress. As you advance, their affection and support wane. How do you recognize them? Here are a few signs. First, instead of celebrating your successes, they downplay them. Did you start a new job? I hope you do not get too exhausted. Did you buy a new home? The expenses will be high now, won't they? Did you win an award? Just luck. They dismiss your achievements, minimize them, or even try to find a flaw. Second, they celebrate the successes of others with enthusiasm, yet react with indifference or coldness to yours. They might vividly recount the promotions or new ventures of other friends, but treat a significant achievement of yours as something ordinary. Third, you might hear negative comments about yourself from other sources. Perhaps whispers circulate that you have changed too much, are not like you used to be, or have become arrogant. This is their way of projecting their own jealousy and insecurities. Fourth, as you progress, they begin to distance themselves from you. They call less often, respond late to your messages, and postpone invitations to meet. Your light has begun to make them uncomfortable. Carl Jung taught us this. Our own peace and balance begin with recognizing the energies that surround us. It is not about being paranoid, it is about being conscious. Recognizing those who steal our energy, manipulate us, or envy us is a right, a responsibility for self-protection. If a person is constantly in chaos, perpetually creating drama, if their past is filled with broken relationships and conflicts, And if they never take responsibility for any of it, then that person embodies chaos. And no matter how helpful you wish to be, no matter how positive you try to remain, that individual will inevitably draw you into their storm. Someone who lives in chaos will bring chaos into your life. Remember, people who genuinely love and value you celebrate your successes, validate your feelings, respect your boundaries, and energize you when they are near. They do not try to dim your light. On the contrary, they support you in shining even brighter. If you have stayed with this video until now, you are aware of a truth that many people fail to recognize for years. Pay close attention to the energies around you. Listen to your inner voice. Protecting yourself is not selfishness. It is your responsibility to safeguard your most precious asset, your peace and balance.